Right now. This is Fred McKinnon with Ecom Catalyst, a Saturday morning live Ask Me Anything. This is the very first time going live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram at Ecom Catalyst, Facebook at Ecom Catalyst, YouTube, Ecom Catalyst. Um, so jump on in here. Would love to see you. Hope everybody's on. I would love for you to drop me a comment, no matter what platform you're on. Drop a platform, um, drop a comment, and let me know if you're watching this, where you're watching it from. What platform are you on? Um, and we'll get started. It's a Saturday morning, not the ideal time. Hey, Marching Band is Awesome channel, tuning in from YouTube. Good to see you. Thanks a lot. Uh, Ideally, not the greatest time. We got another Instagram user here. Hey, Instagram user. It doesn't tell me who you are. It just says Instagram user is here. Couple of Instagram users tuning in here to my first ever Saturday morning Ask Me Anything. Again, my name is Fred McKinnon. I'm the owner of Ecom Catalyst. We're a full service e-commerce agency, but I've also been a seller for over 20 years on Amazon. I've sold on every major marketplace, lots of marketplaces that don't even exist anymore. I've got over $100 million in sales under my belt, either through my own private label or resell accounts or accounts that we manage as an agency. Russ on Instagram, good to see you. Russ is a friend. Russ, make sure we're live on Facebook, if you will. It should be on the Ecom Catalyst page. If so, then we're streaming on 3 platforms simultaneously, which would be really cool. Nevertheless, gonna just hang out here for a minute and wait for some people to join. Would love to have you here. If you're watching this, tune in. And the whole purpose of this is I'm just going to sit here for a little while and answer questions. All of your e-commerce questions, anything maybe that you'd love to know more about, right here to help you out with that. So mainly, this is just a test to see how it goes. I can't imagine that Saturday morning is the most ideal morning in the world to try to do this. It's not when most of my, it's not when most of my people are going to be online, so to speak. But I thought I would give it a test this morning and see how it goes. So, but got a couple people logged in here. Any question that you might have about e-commerce, whether it is about reselling, arbitrage, whether it's about private labeling, Amazon FBA, anything like that, just drop me a comment. Glad to have, looks like we're picking up more and more people now on YouTube. So want to welcome all those YouTube people that are watching right now and look forward to you dropping in. So I fully expect some crazy comments like, like this one we just get from Thomas. Do you support the slave trade? Thomas, that's not an e-commerce question. I guess unless you're referring to slave trade labor in China, which unfortunately that's a real thing. Actually, I just watched a video this morning about some of the labor camps in China, specifically how it relates to Temu, and some of the trouble that Temu's in, and some of the forced labor and slave they have making really cheap goods to sell there. Of course, I don't support that at all. I think it's terrible. But nevertheless, I'm not sure if that's what you mean or not. But because you laughed, I'm subscribing and liking. Thomas, you're my man. Yeah, subscribe to this channel, man, especially if you're interested in e-commerce. We did a test on this earlier. Thank you for that. Hello, King Phoenix, man. Thanks for jumping here on YouTube. So I'm just answering questions about e-commerce today. While you're here, if you're not a subscriber to the Ecom Catalyst channel, man, hit that subscribe button. I would love that. It'd mean a lot to me, especially if you're a person that's actually interested in e-commerce. So fire away. When you ask a question in the comments, what I'll do is I'll publish that comment to the screen where everyone can see it, and I'll try my best to answer your question. Just waiting on some good questions. Let's get some more folks in here. Looks like most of our visitors right now are on the YouTube platform watching us. So it's Phoenix, not Felix, King Phoenix. Thank you for your subscription. Are you a seller? Do you sell, King Phoenix? If so, where do you sell? Just drop it in the comments. Like, are you an Amazon seller, FBA seller? Appreciate the like. Appreciate you sub to the channel. That's awesome. Love to know more about you, what you're doing, and how maybe we could answer some questions and help. Anybody got a question? This is going to be more fun at a better time of day when people are like on here. King Phoenix says, no, why? No, that's just, I was asking that because that's what this particular live stream's about. Just professional e-commerce seller who sells on multiple platforms. And also I have a full-time agency helping other people make money online sell. So I thought I would just do this to answer questions. A lot of times I'll go on Reddit, on the Amazon Reddit once a year and do a big Ask Me Anything. And it goes on for days and days and days. I want to say hello to our Instagram users jumping on right now, the Ecom Catalyst. Thanks for watching. If you're not following Ecom Catalyst Co on Instagram, follow us there. We put a lot of our YouTube videos. We make shorts out of those and we publish those on the Instagram channel. Talks, to talk to you about selling on Amazon FBA, selling on Walmart, direct to consumer, selling on your own Shopify site, all that kind of thing. So, all right, here comes a question here from Marching Man is Awesome. This is a legit question. Let's put that on the screen. Okay. If you're just getting started, where would you look to get started? All right, great question. And that's a question I get all the time. I'm going to mess around here with that because I think that, I want that to be bigger. Are y'all seeing that get bigger in real time? Going to mess with my settings here in this really cool software that we're using. How's that look, Marching Man is Awesome? Does your question cut through a little bit better? But to answer your question, I get asked this a lot, about just getting started. I'm not a real big fan of just getting started right out of the gate with your own private label product because that takes a lot of research and it takes a lot of capital, a lot of money. Most people, if they're really just kind of getting started, I recommend that they actually do that as a reseller. And by a reseller, what I mean is that you're actually not creating your own product so much, but you're just reselling existing products. And there's several ways to do that. One way is what we call RA or OA, retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. And that's where people actually go and they find items in stores that they can purchase paying retail price at a store that for whatever reason, it sells for a whole lot more money on Amazon. That's kind of a way you can just test it out without spending a lot of money. And there's entire websites and communities dedicated to doing things like that. One of my favorites is Jim Cockrum's Facebook group, FBA. I forget what the name of it is. I could drop that in the comment, but that's where, you see that happen all the time. And people, they'll go into like Walmart and they'll see, for example, that Walmart has these big soccer cleats on clearance, right? Nike soccer cleats, or maybe not Nike, but something like that on clearance, or basketball. They've got their Wilson basketballs on clearance for whatever reason. It's the end of basketball season. And you can use the Amazon seller app and you can scan the UPC code of that basketball at Walmart. And it'll tell you, what does that listing look like on Amazon? How many sellers are on it? What is it selling for on Amazon? And after the fees, how much would you net if you sold that on Amazon? And then you can compare right there. So like if that basketball costs $10 at Walmart and it's listed for $40 at Amazon, and after Amazon's fees, you're going to net $25, then you can make 15 bucks off that one basketball. So what people start doing then is buying a whole buggy full of those basketballs. But to answer that question, if you're just getting started, that's a great way to experiment. Basically, you're experimenting to see how the whole process works. From there, you begin to find items that you can purchase from a reliable source, whether that reliable source is a retail store or a distributor, a warehouse operator, something like that. And then you can actually ongoing replenish that. We call those replens, and you can replenish that as it goes. So, and then as you get more comfortable with that as a seller, you might start, coming up with creating your own products, things like that. I hope that helps. And thanks a lot for the question. Appreciate you guys jumping in and helping me test this out today. It's been fun. So we're looking for your questions. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Just answering e-commerce related questions. King Phoenix is here, and he's a subscriber to the channel. He's not exactly asking what I would call e-commerce related questions, such as what was your favorite sport as a kid? Or he asked another great question, what was your first job? But you know what? I like those questions because it has a lot to do with who I am as a person. And so I'll tell you, my favorite sport as a kid was and is still today baseball. I'm a huge Atlanta Braves fan. I love to watch baseball. I loved to play baseball. I never played, like in school or anything like that. But I love baseball. And my first job was my first official job. Excuse me. Now, I mowed lawns and I had a lawn care little business, so I was an entrepreneur and I did that myself. But my first clock in and have a boss job was a bag boy at Winn-Dixie grocery store. I worked at Winn-Dixie as a bag boy and then as a stock clerk and a produce clerk and eventually in the meat department at Winn-Dixie. And I did that all the way through middle school, high school, and even in college. I worked in the meat department and helped pay my way through college, but I was a piano major and my piano instructor hated the fact that I was cutting meat on a saw. And she shopped at that Winn-Dixie and she would look through the glass window and she would see me cutting pork loins, on an electric saw, and she hated it. And she was from Korea and she was like, "You did not come here to cut meat, you come here to play the piano." And I was like, "But I've got to pay my rent." And so she got me more scholarship money to the point where I no longer had to work at Winn-Dixie. So not an e-commerce question, King Phoenix, but I hope you enjoyed the answer. That's what I got for you. Go Braves. That's right. Marching band is awesome. We love us some Braves. All right. So again, just here to answer e-commerce questions. Anything that you have to ask that you would like to know, I'm here to answer your question. So just jump on, drop it in the comments. We'll feature it and answer the question the best that I can. See, Geiger was in here earlier. Geiger, I don't know if you're still with us or not, but I appreciate you jumping on the channel. If you're here and you have not yet subscribed to the channel or followed us, if you happen to be on Facebook or Instagram, go on and do that. We'd be really grateful for that. I say we, right? Me. I'd be really grateful for that. One thing I have not seen, so some of you buddies of mine that are on here, Russ or Wowie, I've seen people pop on from Instagram, and I see, like 3 live viewers right now on YouTube, but nobody on Facebook. I would love for somebody to check Facebook and see, if it works. And a matter of fact, I'll open it on my own phone here. Let's just see. Facebook. Do I even see anything? Yeah, I do, actually. Whoops. There we go. We're live on Facebook. It's on the Ecom Catalyst page, not on. Yeah, so I'm the one guy there now. Yeah, so it's on Ecom Catalyst Facebook page, not on my personal profile. If I'd have taken this live on my personal profile, we'd have more people here, something like that. But King Man, if you got questions, I'll sit here and answer them. if they're e-commerce related. But I'm just kind of doing this as a test. But go for it if you got questions. And they actually, there goes Wowie watching on Facebook. Thanks for that, Wow. I appreciate it. Top of the morning to you, Waffle House. Coffee. It's cold now. I don't even want to take a sip of that, or I might spit it on the screen. King, what's your questions, Phoenix? Let's hear it, man. Drop it in the comments. Waiting on that question. I'm just glad to see that this software works. It's doing exactly what I hoped it would do. Wowie, how's our graphic look down in the bottom? The AMA, Ask Me Anything graphic. Is that looking good? Let's see here. 1 second. Here it is on Facebook. I mean, I'm seeing it on my phone, and I'm seeing it, and Wowie was seeing it on Facebook, but maybe it only is showing if you're an admin or something like that. But on mine, it is, it's showing. It's showing live. Facebook probably has it suppressed because I have my YouTube handle in there. The banner gets covered by the comments. All right, so let's see. When I do that, I've got the comment sitting right on top of the banner, Wowie. I can slide it up a little bit. How does that look? Does that look better? Banner gets covered by the comments. Okay, Travis, that makes sense. While we're here, is there's anybody else here left on this broadcast and you have specific e-commerce questions that you would like to ask, just drop that question into the comment and I'll be more than happy to try to answer it for you. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this experiment up. Not because I have lots to do today. It's Saturday and it's going to be a lazy, lazy day. Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank my friends for tuning in to help me test this, Travis, Wowie, Russ. And I want to thank my new friends, King Phoenix. Thank you for engaging with this. I want to thank, who did we have earlier? Thomas. A couple of new subscribers to the channel. We're grateful for that. And the featured comment is all good, but how about putting the banner on top, says Wowie. All right, so let's do that. How about now? Did you see that slide in real time? How does that look? I'm not sure about why it's hidden. Do you see it now? I just moved it to the top. Russ says that looks good. Wowie's comment is still down here in the bottom right corner of the screen. Tell me how that looks. We'll get this. See ya, King. Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Again, if anybody's watching this wondering what in the world's going on, we're just doing a test because I'd like to do this maybe once a week. I'll do it with a little more fanfare, a little more promotion, a little more, marketing to my email list, things like that to try to get people on that actually want to ask questions about their e-commerce business. It's not centered horizontally now. Okay, I see what you mean. Dude, I can't do this with my left hand. How's that? Is that better? That's the best I could do with my left hand. Comment is better in the right for sure. Comments scroll up the left side. I don't see any comments at all on the screen except unless I pin one. So like I click delete there, I click the X, and then like for example, Russ's comment, I just hit add to broadcast and it shows up there. Russ from YouTube says this. I wish that these changes here that I'm making, I wish those changes would, we can make that font bigger. Did that work? No, I actually made it smaller. Way smaller. Edit text. There we go. Now what I want to know is if I do this, edit text, what is this? Cutout text. Don't like that. Don't like that. Style dynamic. Style. I'm giving y'all the options. Dynamic, text box shrink, text box truncate. Well, we don't like that. Text scrolling ticker. Definitely don't want that. So I think we want it dynamic. But it just doesn't remember my settings. For some reason. Not sure why. Wow, we asked, can you put the featured comment a bit on the middle? Comments are covering. All right, well, I'm going to add that here. I can move it wherever, but now I've done something to the setting where I don't like the text. It's too small. Let's try that again. So that's in the middle, but I don't like what's happening to my text here. Restore the default style. There we go. Save that. So we need to experiment with this a little bit to get it where we want it. If anybody happens to pop in while we're screwing around here, you know, we're just trying to experiment here with settings for us going live. Edit text. I had the text a lot bigger earlier, and I don't know how I did it. Edit text. Well, that's better. So what you're saying, Wowie, I don't get, because you say above the comments. So that tells me you're seeing comments somewhere else. Send me a text, send me a screenshot of what you're seeing, because the comments that I see are happening in a different window. They're not in my broadcast window at all. I mean, I could pull up this question. I could put the question up top like that. But I don't know. When you say comments, check your actual text messages. Okay. All right. So the comments stream up from the bottom, according to the screenshot on the text message. Correct? And how far do they go up, or do they just kind of chop off there? So if I change and put marching band is awesome up there, it should be well out of the way, correct? Okay. Let's see from. Okay, I see. I see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I don't see all of that. So that makes sense. Very helpful. Very helpful. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Come back here. Okay, so yeah, if I'm going to push a comment into the broadcast and stick it like the one that you just sent, Russ, I need to keep it near the top of the page like that, correct? Wouldn't you say? Is that keeping it away from the scrolling comments? Matter of fact, I'll move this up. I'll move that up. How's that look there for our template? Is that something we should save there? All right, cool. All right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate the help. This will be fun. I'll do this again sometime when I feel like I can actually probably get some more buy-in at a time that makes sense, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday, something like that. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.